One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Excellent job by the kick coverage team. A pretty minimal gain on that return. So the Duke Blue Devils offense will get the football first. And, David, they've got a guy in the backfield that certainly is capable of carrying more than his share of the weight in this offensive attack.
Yeah, he's a piece, but I would argue this, Reese. Like, you need to get the ground game going. For this offense to be successful, they need a physical tone setter, and he can be that, sometimes up, sometimes down. They need that consistently, Jesse.
They need him to show up when it matters the most, and there's going to be times in this game like we've seen throughout his career when the defense wants to take away wide receivers or players on the perimeter, and that's when this guy has to show up and shine. He's got vision, he's got cutting ability, he's got speed, but that's got to be on display in this game.
Running hard and getting 6 yards out to the 26.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
And the Blue Devils are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
Every offensive coordinator in the country, they come in the game, they have a script. They have a couple plays they want to go through to get their team settled in, get down and get in good 3rd down situations, execute on 3rd down. Nice start on this opening drive by the offense.
Handoff from the gun. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And I think that might be an example of the running back maybe trying to do a little bit too much. Everybody wants to try to bounce the ball outside and hit the home run, but in college football at this level, you just need to do a better job taking what the defense gives you.
The Blue Devils trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. After run, now throw. That's caught. It's Brown. And eventually taken down, but what about that spin move gives him the first down yardage?
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
And the Blue Devils are rolling down the field. Looking downfield on 1st down. Not in lockstep there with the receiver. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Going to try to pop one on the screen. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
The 7th play of this opening drive will be a 3rd and long. Gonna look downfield again. Unloads it left. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense, not giving up any big plays and forcing the 4th down.
The Blue Devils decide to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. What a great job on that kick, bouncing it out of bounds inside the 10. So the Illinois Fighting Illini now go on offense, and they'll have it for the first time. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sundays.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent, and both guys can hurt you running the football as well. So these defenses are really going to have to be careful with how they try and defend these two quarterbacks, David, this one could come down to which guy has the ball last.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. A big showdown. They know what's on the line. Man, these are two huge names, brand versus brand, big-time baller versus big-time baller, trying to come out on top. Yeah, defenses, I feel bad for them today. That's not what this is about. This is about the QBs.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
This is an offense, guys, that really believes in physicality, and that's their identity. So running the ball on second down, no problem for them.
1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Wants to throw. It's Altmaier. Fires to the tight end.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
The Fighting Illini with options here on 2nd and short. Now the play fake. Grabbed in the middle. It's Arkin. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, another catch by the big fella. And, hey, this defense now in the second level, they've got to understand that they're going to see some play action. They can't keep biting on the fake. It's not easy to do. You've got to be aware of the tight end and his release. As soon as you see him get upfield, right now you know it's pass. So don't even worry about the fake. Get your eyes focused and find the big fella to go make a tackle or make a play on the ball.
Get it out on the screen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Sometimes the timing of the screenplay, it takes a little bit of time to get some depth and a little bit of acting by the quarterback and the running back. Well, they didn't win an Oscar. Let's put it that way. Not good acting. That play went nowhere. The screen pass was not successful.
They're looking for an advantage in the running game to the right. He was looking for some place to put his foot in the ground, but the defense was everywhere, and he's knocked down behind the line.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that.
The Fighting Illini facing a 3rd and long to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. Oh, right through his hand. They came out attacking, wanted to impose their will, and they missed a big chance on that one.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go with the ball.
This drive will start from the 19-yard line. The give to the tailback. And this one will be stopped for no gain. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. Back to pass. Makes the grab. It's Brown. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down.
If you're going to attack and have success against man coverage, then you've got to have great timing between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Really nice rapport. You could tell these two have been spending a lot of time this offseason throwing to one another.
Tries to surge ahead on the sneak.
3rd and 1, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
And the Blue Devils will snap it on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try the middle. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Finds his man. It's Brown. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense.
And a nice job finding my wide receiver. And then how about the wide receiver turning into a running back, getting upfield, getting some positive yards, and getting the first down.
The Blue Devils are marching down the field. Grabbed behind the line. It's King. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the first down.
Really nice job there by the quarterback understanding it's blitz, and not just that it's blitz, but knowing whether it's man coverage or zone coverage behind the blitz. You've still got to know where your answer is going to be based on what the defense is doing in the back end, and he add the answer to the test right there.
We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football. You can tell.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. On the run, it's Moore. He is going nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
It'll be 3rd and long. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Slithers into space.
And as an offense, that's just why you cannot get behind the sticks in these types of situations. 3rd in California is hard to complete and is hard to convert for anybody. And even though the running back is able to do something positive on that 3rd down play, it's just too many yards to gain, and now they're forced to punt.
And the Blue Devils will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. Power football with the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps, everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, it's Altmaier. They'll run the screen. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. Luke Altmaier started his career as a backup to Matt Corral at Ole Miss, but man, did he blossom for the Fighting Illini. Had their best season in more than 20 years, and maybe more in store for him, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there were still a lot of fans that I think were skeptical when the transfer portal news came out that he was going to be joining Illinois. People wanted to see what all the hype was about. You saw it last year, not just running the ball, but making big plays through the air. Really curious to see if Luke Altmaier can take the next step this season, because if they do, this is going to be a really, really tough team to beat.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Got it in the middle. It's Dixon. Really good pickup on 2nd down there. Leaves him with 3rd and 2.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Illinois now staring at a 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Under fire. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Caught over the middle, it's King. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
Man, that play takes some protection. If you're going to stick it in the belly and that wide receiver is going to run down the field that far, I need some good protection, and I need my lineman not to go downfield. Nice job by the quarterback making the right read, being patient, throwing that strike.
Looking to throw on first down. With the catch, it's Brown. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. Been tough to find the end zone here in the first half, but the ball's in plus territory. 1st and 10, under a minute to go. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And the offense clearly saying, we want to take those deep shots. We want to be aggressive. And I think that's a good strategy because it makes the defense really honor what you're going to do. And just missed a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if this offense finds a way to come back to some of those deep balls.
This time it's complete.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
The Blue Devils really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. They'll try to get it through the air. Rush is on him. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41.
That's a play you just love to have back. It's 3rd and 1. You're trying to take a shot. You're trying to take advantage of man coverage. But you've got to give your quarterback more time to get that ball out.
Number 41 in punt formation to kick it away.
And they'll let that one go, and it'll roll out of bounds. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, you've had yourselves a superb broadcast so far today in Durham. And that defense has to feel like it just played about as close to a perfect first half as it can play. And who am I to argue? I mean, check out that scoreboard. Bone-crushing hits and an airtight secondary. Feels like they have 12, 13 dudes out there against that offense, which needs a real pick-me-up and fast. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Brooks Field inside Wallace Wade Stadium.
And the Blue Devils will kick it off to start the 2nd half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Tripped up at the 25 after picking up 4.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Snagged in the middle, it's Arkin. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
He'll keep it himself. Oh, he's got some space. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good game there.
The defense has got to do a better job with assignment football. Somebody has to be accounting for the quarterback on these run plays. You know you're going to see it. You've seen it on film. The option play, nobody home. He just takes off. That's an easy first down pickup for the offense. Moving forward now, the defense, they've got to settle in, and they've got to start playing better when it comes to assignment football.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. To the ground with the back. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
Really nice resiliency by the running back. Sometimes you just got to be able to turn the page, right? You have a tackle for loss the previous play, they give it right back to you, and you make the defense pay. Good vision, good athleticism picking up that first. Why not give it to him again?
They'll try the run. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
You know, the one thing you can say about this defense, they pursue the football. The first guy might miss, the second guy might miss, but there's going to be more and more hats flying to the ball carrier. You saw it on that play, getting a tackle for loss.
This drive facing a little adversity on 2nd and 11. After the run, now to throw. Finds the tight end. This tight end just creates matchup problems no matter how you try to defend him.
How about the catch radius on him, too? So as a quarterback, you don't have to be perfect when throwing it to him. You just got to get it somewhere in his vicinity, and he can come up with the catch.
Illinois needs a big play here on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, it's Altmaier. Got a man, it's Clement. There he goes. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively, and right now they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
They'll give it to the back. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, getting all he could. He'll be a few inches short.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Touchdown, Fighting Illini. And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half.
Well, it's been a defensive war this entire game, and you're wondering who can break through. Give this offense a lot of credit. It has not been easy, but they've been physical. They did a really nice job, I think, with play calling there and setting things up. And finally, someone is able to get on the board.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. So it's a 77-yard touchdown drive, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll run it from the gun. Tripped up at the 25 after picking up 4.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
The Blue Devils are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field. You're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
And the Blue Devils will call on their punt team. No return coming here. Fair catch is signaled for and made just shy of the 30. He'll get this drive started from the 29. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36.
Well, we're not quite in the 4th quarter yet. We're almost there, but you're seeing the attitude shift now for this offense. They've got the lead, so they've got to be able to run the football. You're going to see a lot more of that, I think, as this game keeps going on. They're trying to wear this defense down when the game is almost over.
Grab behind the line. It's Dixon. And he'll have enough for the 1st down at the 42.
Picks up 6. 1st down for the offense.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. And as they get him to the ground, clock running, looks as if time will expire here in the 3rd. That's the end of the period. It's Illinois with the lead. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Dropping back, it's Altmaier. Throws to the tight end. It's caught. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one?
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Illinois putting together a really nice drive. They'll leave it with him. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock, and they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. The give to the back. Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30. The Fighting Illini facing a 3rd and long to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. With the catch, it's Dixon. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a 1st down in the red zone at the 14.
Well, this defense has given up some big plays in this game so far, but they've got a lot of talent on that side of the football. Someone has to step up here, make a play, get a stop, and put their team in a position to win.
Illinois picked up the 1st down. Now here they come again. Catch in the middle, it's Dixon. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in the game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Direct snap. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Smart move to keep it on the ground. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be first and goal.
And how about this offense running the football when you know it's going to be a run? Being the more physical squad. And this defense, man, trailing in this football game, still got those 3 timeouts, but they've got to get a stop. They've got to make a stand and start burning those timeouts.
QB draw. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. They'll move the wide receiver. Little touch pass to the receiver. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. They think there's room to run to the right here. Once again, finding nowhere to run against this defense. He's knocked down immediately.
Decision time coming for this offense. How about the defense? They've hung in there, Palmer, made him earn it all the way down. Now, are you going to go for it on 4th down?
Yeah, after running so many plays offensively on the drive, I know it'd be disappointing to only walk away with a field goal, but you'd feel even worse if you went for a touchdown and didn't get it. I think you kick it right here.
So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in his sleep.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To the air on 1st down. Looking down the middle. Got his man downfield. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line.
Man, this quarterback is going to have to be deadly accurate here in this 2-minute situation, right? And that's really what he's had to be all game long. He hasn't had a lot of yards because the coverage has just been so tight. He's had to be pinpoint perfect. It's been hard just to find completions, and no doubt that's going to be the same thing here in this 2-minute drive.
He just about put this game away if he'd been able to hold on to that one. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
This time he's got it. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
Nice route there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
Most important part of a clutch drive. Piece together some 1st downs. Get in position, and here they are on 1st and 10. Release to the back. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Passing situation, what do I want to do? I want to bring more guys that can cover guys on the outside. Nice job by this defense, running the dime package, more DBs on the field to match up with all these speedy wide receivers.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. A strike downfield. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the 1st down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
The Blue Devils have it with a 1st and 10. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Finds his big tight end. He'll step out of bounds at about the 11.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Back to throw, and he needs to make a play. Short throw to the sideline is caught. He's out of bounds, and they'll move the chains with a first down. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down. Fourth quarter, need a score. Great execution to get the first down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
They'll go to the air. They'll throw it to the back on the screen.
And you got to be careful on offense when you're dialing up the screens. You want to do them on obvious passing situations. When you're anticipating the D ends really racing up the field, they didn't have it set up that time.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Wants to pass, and he's got to make a play. Looking for the goal line. Crisp execution in the passing game, and they've got it down to the 3.
Man, this is such a hard situation. That clock is your enemy, and you've got to push the ball down the field, but you know the defense is dropping back, so you can take the underneath stuff and go to your second and third read some, but we got to stay aggressive.
Wants to throw for it on third and goal. Into the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown, and we might just have overtime on our hands.
And great execution. That is how it's done late in the football game now. All you need is that extra point. Bring the kicker out there. This is what you do. Just like practice, knock it through the uprights, tie this football game, and we might be looking at overtime soon.
And now they've decided to go for 2. A gutsy call, and the game likely to be decided right here. They'll try to blast their way in. He will be stopped short of the goal line. The big gamble to take the lead with the 2-point conversion attempt does not pay off. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.